What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Hey, 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 hey. I'm joking. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. How y'all doing? I hope y'all doing good. If you have been here before, if you haven't, that's okay. Welcome again. Well, welcome. You know what I mean? Come join the family. We're all about good vibes, good love, good things, no negatives. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm joking. But yeah, we're all about good vibes over here. Before we get into today's video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Wow, Jules. Still can't pronounce the word. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Share with the family, the friend's family, the friend's family, the mom, uncle, dad, auntie, daughter, niece, nephew, cousin, yeah. Share with everyone, basically. Subscribe and turn your post notifications on so you can be notified every time I post a video. So without further ado, let's get to today's video. As you can see by today's title, I want to kind of talk to y'all about kind of solo living and loneliness, basically. Living on your own, coping with just being on your own, especially in today's kind of climate, this current climate, the pandemic and everything, you can't really go out. And I'm sure some people obviously love being on their own. Some people who are on their own choose to be on their own. Other people, you know, might find it difficult, probably will find it difficult, especially people who are kind of more outgoing or, you know, like the balance between the two, you know, spending time on their own, but also spending time with friends and family, loved ones and things like that. I mean, at the moment for me, I'm currently living alone. It's been difficult, very difficult. So I thought, let me just have a quick chat with y'all, see how y'all doing, see if you're vibing with me, if you're feeling the same. And then maybe I can share some of the things that I've been doing that has, I guess, maybe made it a little bit easier. I am kind of the person who generally likes to keep their space and have time on their own, but I feel like there's a difference between that and kind of always being on your own. It gets difficult and it gets very hard and it gets lonely sometimes. Especially with me, I struggle with anxiety quite a fair bit. Go watch my last video, 10 random / fun facts about me. I state that in that video. I'll probably put the link up there or something. So for me, like I said, the past few months I've been living on my own. I do live with someone. Unfortunately, she is not here right now due to family reasons. I enjoy living with her a lot. We have really, you know, good times together, really fun times together. So her absence is definitely felt. But you know, I mean, life goes on and you have to adjust, which I have been doing. And it's been quite nice actually, living with my friend. And yeah, like I said, we have fun together and we've kind of like, you know, helped each other through tough times and we've grown really close to each other. So it's been really nice kind of having, like, living with her. So yeah, I do miss her a lot. But yeah, anyway, moving on. Since she's been gone, it's been very difficult, I won't lie, but also I have adapted. It's really weird. I think sometimes it takes me a while to kind of like get off that shaky ground to start with, and then after a while I'm just like, friend who? I'm joking, I still love you though. But yeah, it's been quite lonely actually, with her not being here at times. I do still like my space. I do still like, you know, being on my own and stuff like that. But in the time that I've been living on my own, I've come to realize that there's a difference between being alone and there's a difference between loneliness. So I alone right now, but I also feel lonely sometimes. But the aloneness isn't the thing that's making me feel lonely. You know how sometimes people say you can be in a crowd full of people or be surrounded by friends but actually still feel lonely? So yeah, that's why I know that for me, like, the loneliness that I sometimes feel isn't because of the fact that I'm living alone right now. It's just life really sometimes, you know. There's some things that you have to think about, some things you have to understand more, work through, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, just wanted to clarify that. But I know that some people would, you know, or do feel lonely as a result of physically being on their own. I, for one, I am not one of those people, but I can relate to some degree, you know? So I understand that kind of being physically alone can increase you feeling lonely in general within yourself, and feeling like there's no one there, feeling like you don't have anyone to talk to. You know, I mean, at the moment with the restrictions and the lockdown, you can't even touch anyone, can't hug anyone, you know, social distance. I hope everyone's following the rules and the guidelines and all that, you know. So it's very difficult. It is very, very difficult. It's quite isolating in a sense. And, you know, people who are naturally extroverts or naturally kind of outgoing people, I can imagine them finding it very, very difficult. And also people who just genuinely just, you know, have good relationships with their family and their friends. It's obviously going to be difficult too. I, for one, I'm a balance between the two. You know, sometimes I'm very outgoing and like, hey, what's up? Yo, yeah, let's party, or, you know, let's have fun or whatever. But then sometimes I'm just like, don't look at me, don't talk to me. I need time to just rejuvenate. It's not you, it's me. Naturally, under normal circumstances, if COVID wasn't here, if you were sad, you can, you know, get a hug off your friend or get a hug off mom and dad or whoever, you know, a loved one or whoever, partner. But now if you're sad and you don't live in the same house as them, I mean, you can talk to them, FaceTiming or whatever, but it's not quite the same. And it's like, sometimes people just need that tactile hug and like, you know, or to like have someone just like rub their shoulder or pat them on the back, you know, physical touch. Physical touch means a lot. I'm quite a physical person sometimes. And the current climate is very, very difficult for people who are on their own, but also people who are not on their own, but maybe might just be feeling lonely in general. Maybe if they have quite a difficult family life or a difficult partner, you know, finding the balance between work and doing whatever, and then also coming home, spending that time so you're not kind of at each other's throats all the time, but now you're all you have. What's gonna happen, you know? Hang in there though, hang in there. I like to say it gets easier. It does get easier. Let's be positive, it's gonna get easier, okay? So kind of like everything I've talked about so far, it kind of makes sense and makes it even more important why you should, you know, whatever means necessary, whether it's through texting and connecting with friends more or family more, or doing video chats if you feel comfortable, whatever it is that you feel comfortable in terms of your mode of communication, this is when is the best time to kind of amplify that, because human beings are social beings. And at the moment, that social aspect of things has been kind of like stripped right down. So it's only left with kind of the foundations, and you have to be creative. You know, whatever works for you, that you know that you're gonna enjoy, and you feel comfortable with, do it more. You have to, I think this is the time now where we have to stay even more connected with people, because it's so important, like I said, but it's also about finding the balance. Like I said at the start, some people are just in the middle like myself, so I know that I'm not gonna over socialize, but at the same time, I know that it's not healthy to completely isolate myself. So it's about finding that right balance for me. Some people, I guess, just, you know, are happy not socializing so much. So I guess maybe this video probably doesn't apply to them, but this is just for people who are quite social beings and that, you know, they need that kind of social interaction and communication with people. One of the things that I think I've learned during this time being on my own is that you have to have a solid relationship with yourself first. Times like these kind of show you the importance of having a good relationship with yourself first, because you are stuck with yourself first, and so you have to be your own friend first. You can't afford to allow your mind to run wild with you and allow it to feed you negative self-talk or bring you down and things like that. Like, you have to be your own cheerleader. You have to keep yourself uplifted. You have to be your own friend first. And I think that's one of the things that I've learned during this time, being on my own. And I know that I can, you know, I have been on my own for a while now. And so for me, it's like, I'm at the point where, yeah, living with someone is great, but I know that if in some bizarre scenario or some bizarre, apocalyptic world, there was no one else left in this world, I'd be okay. In a really bizarre way, but not in like a horrible or nasty way. Like I just know that I would be okay because I'm comfortable enough with myself. I'm not scared of myself or scared or uncomfortable of myself. And I know this is a thing for some people, that people can only spend so much time with themselves and then they get bored, or they like have to go out and do something. But I think that's what I'm trying to reiterate. Like these are the kind of times that test you, and it shows you how important it is for you to have a solid relationship with yourself first. You have to be your own friend first before you try and go out and be friends with anyone else. Another thing that I've learned during kind of being on my own is that it's also important to kind of be aware and be mindful of how you're feeling and what you're thinking, so you can keep a track of it. I know some people find it very beneficial if they kind of have diaries or journals. If you're not kind of paying attention to how you're feeling, or if something makes you feel anxious or whatever, it starts to build up, eventually you'll start to show in negative self-talk. So that's why it's very important. Be mindful. And alongside being mindful, I would also say it's also important to practice self-care. And I guess maybe being mindful is a form of self-care, because it's like you're saying, okay, I care about myself enough to want to pay attention to the things that don't make me feel good, or even do make me feel good, so I can do more of that. So it's just looking out for yourself. That's basically what self-care is. So understanding and looking out for yourself and maximizing on the things that you know that kind of make you feel good, that make you grow. So self-care as well as during this time is so important for all the reasons that I've mentioned before. But I feel like people need to understand what self-care is. I think a lot of the times people hear the word self-care and they think holiday, or like they think, oh, I'll have a bath. And those are great, don't get me wrong. I think sometimes people use it as kind of like a short-term relief, and again, that's okay. But you have to have something. If it's just for a short-term relief, you have to have something as a backup to kind of help top that up. I feel like for me, self-care always starts from one, understanding yourself, becoming friends with yourself, and by becoming friends with yourself, you can accept all of who you are, whole, your flaws, your strengths. It's just accepting yourself, and then saying, this is who I am. I'm working, I'm growing every day. Change is the most constant thing in nature. And I'm just gonna keep, doing whatever I can to grow in a healthy way. Most importantly, growing in my relationship with myself. But just remember, it's not just about bubble baths or like holidays or, having a glass of wine. Those are great, but those are short-term kind of interim self-care tips or whatever. Try and find something more meaningful, so something that is from within, that if those, say for example, those holidays were taken away, or the bath was taken away, or whatever it is that you do externally is taken away, you still are stable inside of you, and you still are okay inside of you. The final thing I've learned, and I guess I want to learn, if I should say, is try something new. If you're living on your own, you're struggling with loneliness, the best thing you can do is to distract yourself. It's a form of kind of regulating your emotions technique. Again, it can be used as a short-term interim, but also it can be used in a long-term way. For example, if you wanted to learn a new language or a new skill, obviously that will take some time. So if you kind of discipline yourself enough to kind of stick to a routine, a structure, or whatever, that can actually turn from a short-term kind of, oh, well, it's the middle of a pandemic, so I'm going to just pick up this skill, to actually, I'm enjoying this a lot more, so I'm going to keep it going. For me, for example, I really want to get back into learning how to play the keyboard again, and eventually obviously transitioning that onto the piano. So I want to do that, and I want to actually learn how to play the guitar. I've always been a fan of kind of like string instruments, so like the violin, the harp, the cello, guitars. I love like sweet sounding sounds, I guess. Pick up a new skill, learn something new, go out of your comfort zone, put yourself out there, for your own self. If you try it, you don't like it, that's fine, but at least you tried and you put yourself out there. Try and learn something new, something that you can use, is for you, and you can use for yourself, and you'll enjoy. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you have. Share this video. but also turn your post notification bell on so then you are reminded every time I post a video. I think maybe the next few videos I might focus on some poetry for you guys, see how we get the flow of things. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Until the next one, I love you. Your girl is out.